Peter Sina, shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's Woohoo! It's a dream return!
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with the newly minted Christmas card receiving co-host, Angela Morales.
I made the list. I made Mario's family's Christmas card list. And let me tell you, that is an honor. Because not only, it wasn't a handwritten envelope like, oh crap, we're just going to throw around. Like, I got a full printed, my name is printed on that envelope.
Which means you were on the list when I sent it to the printer. So,
yes.
It was premeditated.
I appreciate it. Tell Jen the same.
Yes. So welcome, everybody. We are still in the off season, but the expansion draft, the thing has been giving us ulcers for the
6 months,
month, has finally passed.
Thank goodness.
The next thing that's coming up is the NWSL draft. So we're going to be talking about both of those today. So let's get right into it. Basically, the expansion draft. What happened? We were shaking in our boots up until the deadline.
Like literally the nth hour of just like, are we going to get protection of any kind? What is going to happen? The two of us were just like, not angry texting, but like, oh, there's only so much time. One of our mutual friends was like other Angela, who is in the front office, GM, like she's got all the hope. None of us are with her on that. Like everyone is nervous. She is living on a wing and a prayer. Like good for her.
Or at least that's what she made it seem. Like, come on, you got to have a plan here. What's going on? So just to recap, the expansion draft is the playground picking scenario where the new teams get to pick players from all the existing teams and say, you're on our team now. Face it. Unless they do some type of trade or deal or agreement beforehand. And there was a deadline that was 6 a.m. for us here on the West Coast on the 12th or something like that.
12th.
When they had to stop. Yeah, last week? 12th? Yeah.
Yeah, that Tuesday. Yeah. It was Tuesday and the draft was Friday. Look, I don't know how I remember these dates, but here we are.
They had to stop wheeling and dealing, and then they had to give later on that day. They had to give their protected list, right? And we talked about the protected list, and ACFC goes on and like drafts Giselle and blows up our protected list because we're like, holy crap, we got to add her to the list because
she's 18.
She's 18 and she's available to be drafted. So. And there was a whole lot of confusion. Many articles written about that out there.
So many.
Yeah. Because some people were like, yes. Some people were like, no. Who knows? But ultimately what happened, basically it didn't get announced till the next day. We got full protection.
Right. And just as like a reminder or an info, like an Angela fact moment for people who are newer to this, in any sports league, trades, deals, any kind of anything like this has to be league approved. And then the leagues also tell you when you can announce it. And then if you do it before when they say, then there's possibility to be fined. It's a whole thing. But half of the reason that it took forever was because there was so much going on with the league, like all the different teams wheeling and dealing. I'm going to rehash this again, probably in like 10 minutes when we briefly talk about free agency. But like, there are things moving and grooving that we don't know about yet because the league office hasn't given the teams the okay to announce it, which is so frustrating for us as fans, podcasters, general sports nerds, or you want to classify us as. It's freaking irritating.
Yeah. They
but I appreciate the due diligence.
They gave us deadlines.
Yes.
They gave us dates and deadlines, and we're following them, and they're not following them.
Exactly. But anyway, tell us about what kind of protection we got and what we lost.
We got full protection from Bay FC and U12 Royals. With Bay FC, we got protection. We also got $50,000 of allocation money, but we lost Scarlett Camberos. She got traded. Now the press release, the information that we have from Angel City and from other Angela, was that Scarlett was actually okay with all of this. She was one of the people that kind of initiated this and said, I want to go over there. Something about just being able to have a bigger role. But, if it's all on the up and up and that's what she wanted, glad that we're taking into account what these players want.
And for the Utah, I have theories.
We can get into those in a bit.
I'll dabble into those in a little bit. But yeah, what did we do with Utah?
And then for Utah, we just got straight protection. We didn't get anything, but we gave them money. We gave them $100,000 in allocation money, and we gave them one of our international spots. Don't ask me how many spots we have because I didn't look that up yet. We'll talk about that.
And I don't think anybody really knows.
Yeah. Ultimately, and there's a note that might come up a couple of times, but when it comes to American sports leagues, positions and money, they might as well just be monopoly money. Like, they make up their rules whenever it seems to fit them, So it is what it is. We gave an international spot and $100K. So we got $50K, gave $100K. Overall, yeah, it works out. But that's what happened.
We actually, with Scarlett, initiate the move. We actually didn't lose too much because I really, I was going to wait till later, but I'll just say it now. I really think that she wanted and deserves to have a bigger, playmaker role than she had on Angel City, only because we have a lot of really good playmakers. And she's so good. And I'm so frustrated that she's not going to be on our team next season. But at the same time, I think the move is really good for her. I also have hypothesized that maybe she needed to be a little further away from Mexico, given why she came to Angel City in the first place.
I mean, giving you the entire state of California is a pretty good
It's
buffer.
Pretty big. It's the entire East Coast. And which is a bummer if that's one of the underlying reasons, because she was really starting to open up and come in her own, and it was so fun to watch her play. And now it will be fun to watch her play when she's playing other teams, but not us.
But now we're gonna have to boo her when she comes. So
we don't have to boo her.
Okay, maybe not boo.
Just
but
be
we're
sad.
Not going to clap.
Yeah, we just won't clap.
Just sit there with my arms crossed. I'm not gonna.
Very Mean Girls. She doesn't even go here. Very much like that. No disrespect. Yes. Just a lot of fine.
I'm gonna give you a death stare, but respectfully.
Respectfully, I miss you and I'm mad about it. That's really what it is I don't think anybody in the fan base was really ready to say goodbye to Scarlett, because we were just getting to see the Scarlett Camberos. And it's such a bummer to see such a fun player leave, but I think it'll be okay for her. I think she'll do all right. Yeah. If she doesn't, I'll be so surprised to have questions for that team.
Yes.
But yeah, we miss her already.
And we did, as we've been doing this pod and we've been getting comments and messages, and we're starting to see a good base of people that have been responding to us, which is, it's super exciting.
And the best part is that it's not just our friends.
Yes.
Or family. It's other people we don't necessarily know well, and it's great. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the mom. Yes.
Yeah.
But so I did post up as soon as the news broke. I posted up a little how are we feeling? Little temperature check. And we got a couple of responses. We've got a not bad, but still worried about the midfield.
I think everyone is.
Yes. We got another not bad, definitely glad that the rest of the team is safe. Curious what our other moves are during the off season. You and me and everyone else are we're gonna get into that. Someone else was just still confused.
That's like top tier. Just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Someone just gave us like safe, I guess. Damn. I will add like, my inflection.
Yeah.
I will add the inflection that I think the intention was to all of these. Although this one I think was one of my favorites. We did get one that was just 4 emojis. It was party emoji, a frown, crying, and then like green sick to my stomach. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, yes. Same. Very much same.
We got a sad. I loved Camberos. She's such an asset to the final third.
Yeah,
she was. I mean,
that part.
Yeah.
That one, I don't remember what game it was. I think it was the game against Portland, the 5-1 game, where I don't know if it was that game or the game right before. Scarlett like was driving almost at the basket because I've been watching so much basketball. Driving towards the goal, and Clarice Lebion is coming up the flank, and she just like bink, just like taps this little ball over, like the most beautiful pass. Nobody knew where she was passing it. Like, what are you doing? Like that. It's just the extra pass where it's needed to get around the defender to secure the goal. And she's so smart. So smart.
Yeah. So that will be missed.
Absolutely.
And because of that, the one right after was
this one might be one of my favorites.
Hope it was worth it. And you know what? That's one of the ones we're gonna have to see. Wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm in the feels, and then love Scarlett. And by love, it was the heart emoji. But I guess that's the business. The rest are safe. And then gave us a couple shrugs. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that is the business, right? These are, sucks to think about them as assets, but
yeah,
team that
it's a business.
Is business. And then the feeling that we all have is, I'm happy if she's happy.
Honestly, though, yeah.
I mean, if she was like, if we're to believe what was being released, and she was one of the parties that initiated this whole thing, then you know what?
Yeah, more power to her.
You know what you need. You know what you need to get done, and if this helps you, get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last one. Glad we're quote unquote safe, but losing Scar hurts. Would have rather seen others go. I was like, oh,
shots fired. Pew, pew, yes. Pew. But I'm very curious to know who they would have rather let go. So if they're listening, please send us a message. I would like to know the chisme. And for those of you who don't know what chisme means, it's gossip in Spanish. Like
the tea. Just give me the tea.
Yeah, give me the tea. And not even to start stuff. I just want to know. That's the thing. I don't even like being part of the drama. I just like to know what's happening.
I want to be aware.
I feel like that's my role in the podcast. I give you the strategy of the game, and also please just fill me in. Fill me in on the stuff I don't necessarily need to know about, but will happily listen to.
So, I mean, yeah. And this is what has happened to our team. Although there was an entire league that was part of this expansion. So
yeah.
And this Angela has thoughts.
Yeah. So this whole expansion draft could have been an email. I think it was Galpal Sports recapped the entire draft in one tweet. Just one. Because here's what happens. All of these trades and protection things and monopoly money, allocation money situations happen. And then out of the 12 teams that were going to be picked from, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 12 had some level of protection. Like, what?
No, 7 teams had full protection.
Oh, 7 teams had full protection, and then the rest had some level of something. And what's the point at that point? Why have this? And according to Alex Morgan, she's done with this shit. She didn't say shit. I did. I took liberty in what she posted because it was very much like, how dare you? One of the players from San Diego like didn't want to leave. The team didn't want her trade. It's a whole thing. There's better ways to go about this. And thankfully, it's been announced that this was the last year for allocation money. So I'm very curious what the NWSL FO is going to be doing this next year to fix this. One thing I strategized
last year of allocation money, last year of hopefully expansion draft.
Hopefully, yeah. There's got to be a better way.
I mean, they are expanding 2 more teams in 26.
Yeah, so they got a minute to figure this out. But Eva and I were talking about it, and we were just like, there has to be a better way. Because this makes no sense. Like, what's the point of supposedly being able to pick and choose from teams, you know, whether players want to go or not? Like, even if you put all that aside, the second you allow for like protections, the whole idea just kind of gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and the same thing happened when Angel City and San Diego joined. Like, teams were protected. You could pass. Like, the teams that are choosing can pass. Utah passed. Like, it just, I hate it. I hate it. And then, like, there was this whole thing with Sierra Eng, who was picked up by BFC from San Diego. Then she got traded to Houston, and then Houston traded her back to San Diego, all within 72 hours. Make it make sense.
Yeah, that's insane.
Why?
That's insane.
Just make the deal. No. I don't really have a good way to explain how frustrated this all makes me. You look at the MLB, the NBA, the WNBA, like, leagues that are expanding. So like the W would be the best option. Granted, they haven't expanded for a few years. That's a different podcast altogether. But yeah, when they expand, you don't pull from the other teams. There's hundreds of thousands of players across the country that are eligible and able and willing. Make more spots. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, and then I mean we'll talk about the antiquated process of that with the NFL. Sorry. We'll talk about the antiquated process of all of that with the NWSL draft.
Yeah, you can tell it's not NWSL season, and we are both watching other things. I'm watching college basketball every chance I get.
I don't even watch the NFL. I'm watching the EPL and like Bundesliga right now.
That's fair.
Not for any other reason than just soccer. It's not like the team the heartbreak and beauty of English soccer with Pro-Rel. My team is not in the top league right now. So it's very difficult for me to watch them. And they play midweek a lot. So
it's like it's difficult to watch because they're not doing so hot. And it's difficult because it's just hard to find it.
But I agree that the expansion draft, it seems a little silly. I did write this like little stat here that before the draft, by all the wheeling and dealing, 7 players were drafted to BFC, right? Through whatever mechanisms, rights, signed, whatever. And then post-draft, they only gained 3 more. You know, so they had a 7-player roster before the draft happened. Now they have a 10-player roster. Utah had 12 players. They were the ones like really getting the ball rolling with everything.
All the protection came from free agency for them. Of folks being like, I'll go to Utah, which some of those picks surprised me. Amani Dorsey, but the rest of them, I'm trying to figure out how to say this politely. The folks who are going either back home to Utah or who are signing with Utah
are more comfortable in Utah.
Are much more, that's a very nice way to say that. They are much more comfortable in Utah. Yep. That's all I got. That's all I got. I have been to a small part of Utah. Like, I've been to Zion, which doesn't count because it's like a tourist attraction. And then St. George and like another little town. And for those of you who know me, I'm a light-skinned Latina girl who in LA basically passes as white because nobody pays attention. But when you're traveling with a dark-skinned Mexican dude and a tiny little Costa Rican Cuban girl going to a national park, let me tell you, you stick out. Stick out like a sore thumb, which makes no sense. Anyway, so
back to the expansion draft.
Back to the expansion draft. Utah started with 12 players and they ended with 13. Yeah. So like, ooh, you got one.
Yeah. And each one of them did have an extra one, but they both eventually traded those players. Funny enough, both of them eventually went to San Diego.
It's just wild.
Sierra went through some long ass loop, but yeah.
Yeah.
So both players went to San Diego Wave. All right. So we went through that whole thing. It literally,
I like soapbox real hard. Yep. Anyway, here's to this being the last expansion draft.
Yes. Hopefully it is. I mean, there are plenty of players out there ready and willing.
That's like the whole point of free agency.
Yeah.
And the CBA and being able to pick what team you want to be on and all that kind of stuff. Like that's the entire point.
Yeah. Well, free agency for like senior players, you have to be in the league at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Before you're considered.
But even still, there's plenty of people who've been in the league for 3 years.
True. So with that, yes, the free agency window has reopened now that the draft is done. Free agents are free to sign with whomever they want. So now we have another reason to have ulcers.
So the second midnight on Friday hit and it was Saturday, I was expecting a weekend full of chaos and I did not get it. And I feel like all of WOSO Twitter and WOSO friends and WOSO group chats and WOSO fandom was disappointed. Like, no joke. I was up at Eva's and we were both like, we had a really low-key weekend for like the first time in 6 months, it feels like. And we both were like, there's no NWSL news. Like, what is happening? Why is it quiet? And she's like, it's Saturday. I'm like, I don't care. The expansion draft was yesterday. We should have been getting announcements at like 12:01.
Instagram is 24 hours, baby. Just
right. The internet doesn't close.
Schedule that. Post it.
Yeah. Co-schedule, tweet deck, something.
Yeah.
I just showed my age.
And you know what?
My like APIs that don't work anymore.
that don't work and none of them work anymore.
But yeah, so
but also timing your posts actually don't do anything. Like it's just BS. The algorithm will put your post wherever it's going to go. So if you're one of those, you're one of those.
Oh man. But yeah, all I want for Christmas is a Sarah Gordon Angel City signing. That's it.
Yes.
Can we get it before the weekend? Please.
Well, okay. So yeah, hopefully, again, like you mentioned earlier, trades, deals, money, all of that stuff needs to have league approval, and the league decides when to announce things. Angel City has been fined in the past for announcing things a little too early.
Like minutes early. So
yeah, stupid reasons.
So nobody does it anymore.
So we have to wait till whenever the league decides.
Yeah.
But hopefully
so with
this
that said,
ends the chaos.
Yeah, as of right now, we don't have any cool news for Angel City. It's 10:15 almost on Monday the 18th, and nothing cool has happened. It's rumored that Rose Lavelle and Emily Sonnet who play on the Reign, might be going to Gotham, which would be freaking nuts. But we'll see what happens with that. The Washington Spirit finally have a head coach, the dude from Barcelona. Shell King. Did you see the salary? She offered him 5 times what he was making in Barcelona.
Oh,
Barcelona.
I did see that it was it was an insane amount. Like the headline was like insane amount.
What? Like, this is fake. Like, that money is fake. Like, it's so obvious and so apparent in that statement alone.
It's
that he got 5 times his current salary. I'd leave too.
I swear, if he tanks in his first year so hard, I'm gonna laugh.
I'm going to be so sad though, because the Spirit doesn't deserve that. They've had like 4 head coaches over the last 2 seasons. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Their front office got gutted for reasons unknown, like ticketing folks, community outreach folks. There's a lot happening in Washington, D.C. that nobody really understands right now. So I'm hoping that is nice. And as of right now, as of recording, what's her name? Hold on. What are
you thinking of?
Oh, okay. Rewind. So as of recording, the Dash re-signed Sanchez, I think until 2026, making her the highest paid NWSL player. And as a Mexican American, hell yeah. Highest paid player in the NWSL and the NWSL right now is a Mexican woman. Yeah. I mean, that probably won't last because we got teams with fat wallets, but like I'll take it right now. 375,000 a year or over I don't know. She's making a lot of money.
Yeah. What makes me wonder is like, which I haven't been able to find anything, and also granted I haven't looked that deep, but like what the salary cap actually is and like how much headroom, right? But salaries are not that transparent.
Yeah.
So it's all a guessing game. But either way, we have rights to a handful of players that are still going to give us, like I said, freaking heart attacks until we hear about Megan Reed, Le'Veon, Emsley, Nabet. Then we have
they're just
a whole list of
question marks in the air right now.
Yeah, and then our free agents of Charlie, Gordon, Eddie, McCaskill, Eisenhower, Weatherholt, and Hammond. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, the last list from Charlie to Hammond, they're free agents. So technically, the news we might be getting might not be the ones we want.
I know.
Because the thing is, if they're going to a different team, very upsetting for us. Very happy for them means, because it means they're getting that bag. They're getting what they deserve and what they feel like, and they're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
But then the double knock on us would be, 1, we're sad. But 2, we let them go on a free. Like we got nothing out of it. That's the sucky part.
Yeah. Like I was
great
talking
for free agency.
Not great for us.
Not great for us, no.
I was talking to I've said it 8 times this episode. I was talking to Eva about this because we had like a long, probably 45-minute long conversation about the NWSL because that's what we do. But we were talking about Sarah Gordon and she was like, here's the thing. 2 years ago, she picked up her whole family, her and her son, and moved out here. Would you want to move your kid again? And now he's almost in high school. Like, it's a whole thing. And we both agree that she's born and raised Chicago, played for the Red Stars forever, all that. But they've had an ownership change. I don't think they have a head coach yet. Like, there's a lot of question marks for Chicago. Also, rewind to the expansion draft. Neither Bay FC or the Royals picked someone from the Red Stars. So that kind of sent a message. So I'm curious. WTF. And so is like the internet when it comes to that. Because it's kind of unheard of. You have the option and you just pass instead. Or, what about the available players?
Yeah.
Yeah. And timeouts. It was weird. Anyway. Well, there's a lot of unknown. All I want for Christmas is Sarah Gordon re-signing with Angel City, but also Simone Charlie and Madison Hammond and Danny Weatherholt and Clarice and like this whole list. I can make an argument for all of them.
Just sign the whole list. Just keep everybody. Let's make it a big happy family.
Basically, I want to see Simone Charlie healthy. I want to see Press healthy. I want to see the team that we all signed up for. I want them on the pitch
to finally have a healthy season and see them.
Yeah, and they all deserve it. And
I will say I saw a post on I think it was Reddit today that like it was Press like actually dribbling a ball. Although she was fully in like street clothes, so it looked like it was some press appearance, but still she was like, it looked like she was dribbling through a couple cones. So, yeah. All right. Well, the next thing that's coming up.
Oh. Yeah. I was going to say, as long as she, quote unquote, wasn't ready to play by January 1st, that's fine with me. They didn't say January 2nd.
Yeah. And it's fine. Don't be ready on February 1st. Be ready March 16th.
Yes, exactly. Score 100 goals, like immediately.
Yeah. Make up
Beat
for
this
time
goal
lost.
differential. Oh my God, please. Revenge tour of Kristen Press. Give it to me.
Okay.
And like revenge tour, Simone Charlie and Kristen Press. Let's go. That's also another reason why I think it was like smart for Scarlett to look for a new home if she wants more playing time, which I'm sure she does. With Simone coming back, with possibly Press coming back, that's just 2 more roster spots that.
Okay. So if we sign all our key players back from free agency and from all of this stuff,
right,
we are making the revenge tour shirt.
It's
for
just the
all
Angel
of them.
City. Oh my God. Yes. The revenge tour, the Angel City revenge tour. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if we just make it anyway? I have an idea for it. You can apply it
to whatever player you want.
Exactly.
So the next thing that's coming up on the whole schedule is the NWSL draft, right? So this, which conveniently has dropped the college word out of it, or the collegiate draft, because technically they got sued. They can't only draft from college anymore.
Yeah, you can't draft from college anymore. You can pick up younger players. You can pick up international folks. Like, there's options.
So just to go back a little bit, it was formed. The NWSL draft is coming up. It's coming up in January. It's coming up on January 12th during the United Soccer Coaches Convention down in Anaheim. We believe that this event is going to be free to the public. Either way, you have already gotten PTO for it, so you'll be down there in some capacity. But the NWSL draft, which, like I said, it was formerly called the college draft, it's a chance for players that are in college or of college age to enter the NWSL. Now, I don't know why you can't just like sign a player, like whatever. I guess that's called on a waiver, but like in the middle of the year. But
the rules are weird.
The rules. Why they make things overly complicated, but that's what it is. And so, who's eligible for this draft, right? A player has to be a citizen or a permanent resident in the U.S. So, but this is specifically for this college draft. There's other ways to sign players, and we've seen that. Do we understand them? No, but there's other ways. In this particular draft, permanent resident or citizen of the U.S. You can also be a foreign national, but you have to be currently enrolled at a college or university in the U.S. during the 23-24 academic year. You have to have declared that you are renouncing. It sounds like very kind of religious, but that you are.
I know.
Renouncing. There's no other word that I can think of right now.
You're declaring for the draft, basically, and
you have to declare
up the last bit of your eligibility.
You have to declare for the draft by saying that you are no longer going to be eligible for college, right? Because you have to keep your amateur status to be able to play for college. Once you sign a contract, you go professional. You're not allowed to play for college anymore. You have to be at least 18 years before the end of this year. You cannot be under a contract or been signed to a contract previously professionally. Hence the whole collegiate, you got to renounce college eligibility. And you have to register for this event. All, which is the weirdest part, but all people who want to put their names in the hat will have to put it in by January the 8th. Now, if you meet all these requirements and you're listening to this and you want to go for the draft, just put your name in. I mean, what the hell?
Do it. It's like the Goblet of Fire from Harry Potter. Just do it. Just put your name in.
There's just a big security guard and be like, "How old are you?" Bah, get out of here.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
So yeah, that's the way that new players are going to be signed. But dun dun dun, here's the reason why all of this stuff is kind of dumb. Does not mean you get a contract when you get signed or picked. So really, it's not. The terminology is more when you're drafted or picked during the draft. You are not signed, right? So players that are drafted or picked out in this, they get put on the roster, right? So you're officially now on the roster of whatever team picked you. That team is the team that gets your signing rights. So they're allowed to offer you the contract. Another team just can't be like, hey, come over here, sign over here. That's not a thing. Players get to go through spring training. They must get an offer. The stupid part is that they can be traded. They can be traded without having a contract. Yeah. Or they can be waived and let go. But it needs to happen within 60 days from the start of training. If they get traded, those 60 days reset and restart from when they start training with another team. Mm-hmm. Now, the other sucky part for the players that get declined and don't end up signing with an NWSL team. If the team offers a contract, but you decide not to sign, the team still retains your rights for 3 years or whatever they offered you as a contract. So if they said, oh, we'll sign you to a 1-year contract and you decline it, they still hold your rights for that length of time, at which point you can go ahead and sign with whatever team you want. If you never got an offer, the team automatically holds your rights for 3 years, and you're not allowed to sign with another team. You're another team in the NWSL. That's what leads
you can go out of the league.
That's what leads a lot of players to be like, I'll take my chances in Europe. I'll take my chances
Mexico,
overseas.
Or
Mexico
Australia.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's, I said this before in a previous episode where like how weird the MLS rules are for like teenagers and for like high schoolers that are like about to get in. Like they have this weird thing about like their local team that they have to kind of make deals through.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it'd be so you weird. Grow up.
I will say the commish has talked about like no more allocation money, no more like, things are changing because now like the league is growing, things kind of have to change. But I was thinking about it, and per usual in the conversation Eva and I had, we were talking about that, and she brought up a really good point. She goes, I think the new commish came in and realized she had to deal with the 911 emergencies of the league, the shitty coaches, the abuse, the harassment, like all of that.
Put out the fires
all
first.
Of that, exactly. All of that had to be fixed and stabilized and figured out before any like actual good changes could happen to the league. Like the players had to be safe.
Yeah.
And Sinead and Mana coming back to Gotham and playing and then like winning with Kriegs this season, I think was the epitome of the work the league has done to win the trust back from players that were heavily impacted by everything that happened. So I'm really hoping over the next like season or two, we get some really, really good, solid improvements.
Yes. Both on field and off field, because God knows we need better refs.
And better pitches.
Yes. And better pitches.
I'm looking at you, Snapdragon. If you're going to share the stadium, that's fine. But geez.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm over here just like, this is stupid. Just on my little soapbox. I'm also very grumpy. I had a bad day at work today, and I'm just frustrated with like 15 different things outside of work. So trying to stay positive, but
it's all good. It's a long recap though. There's a lot of stuff that we were kind of going through just because
and
it's
Mercury's
also off-season.
in retrograde. There's a lot going on. It's true till the end of the year.
Damn you, Mercury. Damn it. So yes, that's how college players are going to come in. Again, if you want me to explain why you can't just sign on the whim on like a Tuesday, I have no clue. I mean, I'm doing the research for this, but honestly, doesn't make sense to me until I figure it out. Like, why you just can't like sign Angela on Tuesday and be like, boom, contract. There you go.
Yeah. It's weird. It's all legal stuff for sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that we don't want to get into because I don't want to. Yeah.
I studied sports psychology, not sports law, for a reason.
I studied art. So
yep.
I like to make pretty things.
That's why we have great graphics.
Yeah. You know, like that's one of the reasons that like people are like, well, you work in like architecture and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but I don't build the things. Like I
make it look cool. Like
yeah, I make it look cool, and then I hand it off to someone to be like, okay, I think I figured this out. Can you figure it out more for me?
Does this cool looking idea actually make sense? Can it be built?
Yeah, that's literally like half my job of like, can this be built? What if we did this?
Right.
But when they do get built, that's awesome. All right. So the last thing that we're going to hit up on this is what's coming up in the 2024 season. Now, we do have a planned episode closer to the actual season, just so like, you know, things are more kind of relevant, fresh in your mind. So at the moment, we only have a framework to go off of.
But the nice thing is that with the dates that we're about to give you, that means that the overall schedule should be released sooner rather than later because we start early this year. We've got more teams, more games.
They promised us an earlier schedule.
Yeah.
Okay? You put out the fires. You've done some good stuff, FO. You done good. Not great. You done good, though. But give us what you also promised, that the schedule was going to come out earlier. Not like 10 minutes before the first game.
Right.
So if you want to follow along and be stressed out with us, I literally, within a conversation with Angela, was like, I'm just going to make a damn website. So where's the NWSLschedule.com? You can go there for a quick check. Has the schedule been released or not? And as soon as it is, I will have links to the schedule. But at the moment, all we have is a framework. Come on, Meg, help us out.
I know Meg needs to get her intel, but I feel like the league is going to wait until free agency settles. And like once they finalize all of that, then they'll be like, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy other what's the Islamic holiday? There's another holiday in there that I can't think of right now. Happy Yule, Happy Wintertime holiday, Winter Solstice. Here's the schedule. Like, please. Mario, like, we've already made plans for June 29th. There better not be a home game.
Yeah.
June 29th.
Oh, geez. God, no. Please, no.
We're going to go see the Roots, the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. I swear, if there has to be, please not. Let it be. I told right before we bought those tickets, I told you, I was like, you said, God help me if they have a match that day. And I was like, just please don't make it either a match with San Diego or Bay, like not the first one that we have with them, like on that day.
Yeah, it can't be
because those are close enough for us to be like, yeah, we're gonna go, right?
Yeah.
But all right, well,
like have an away game in Gotham or North Carolina or someplace far away.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be in LA. It's fine. We'll still watch the game. We'll still watch it, definitely. Just being at the stadium takes a lot more time.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time to get from like South LA to the Hollywood Bowl if we have to try and make both, which I feel like we both would.
Yeah.
We'd have to carpool.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Eva
so
just
important dates.
hops in the car with Jen and like they carpool back and we carpool. Jeez.
I know.
All right. I don't even want to think about it just yet. All right.
I don't either.
Important dates for the 2024 season. Spring training camp starts on the 22nd of January, no later than 29th. So within that 22nd to the 29th is when all our teams, all our beautiful, happy, healthy people will get back together and start kicking a ball around.
Yep. It's when the Angels fly back to Thousand Oaks.
Yes. Challenge Cup in its new format, which is Shield winner versus Cup winner, will be played on Friday, March 15th. March 16th, Saturday, will be the very first game for the new season. That's when everything's going to kick off. There's going to be a break during the Olympics. It's all that we know is that there will be some mini tournament. Rumors are that there's probably going to be a mini tournament with the Liga MX Femenil. But that's all speculation right now. Who knows? All they said was mini tournament during the Olympics. Which honestly, like, I get it, but also there's players are getting injured or getting ACL tears. Why? No, just let them rest.
No, but they also need to keep playing because that also leads to more injury.
That's true. That's true. I just hope that the tournament isn't like a compressed thing where it's like, oh, now you're playing every 3 days for like this short 3-week period. And it's like, God damn it. And then we do have when the playoffs are going to happen. November 9th will be the quarters. November 16th will be the semi. And the final championship will be on November 23rd. So right before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
This year,
whole lot of stuff.
This year with the addition of 2 more teams, there's no more first or second place bye. It will be the top 8 teams.
Yeah, top 8 because we get 2 more playoff spots.
Yeah, it'll be the top 8 teams seeded. Just start straight up single elimination from the quarters down to the finals. So there you have it. That's what we know of the 2024 season so far.
Yeah, I hope you're excited. We've got a crap load of episodes coming out to just regular season alone. We were like, oh, there's like 30 games. Cool. Then we were like, oh, we'll do the Olympics like we did the World Cup. Cool. Oh, we've got some interviews and some other cool stuff coming up too. Cool. And then I texted Mario, like, bro, that's like 40 episodes. And we both were like,
okay, we started
so pumped.
We started this podcast mid-season, and by the end of the season, we were at 32 or 35, something like that. So
it's a World Cup.
Yeah. We're gonna have
World
quite a
Cup
few.
To Olympics back to back. Like, let's go. So I hope you don't get sick of us. I hope you're so excited for this next season. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming up on our side for the league itself. It's going to be a wild season. I have a really good feeling about it. So if you want to keep up with everything Angel City related and whatever random tangents Mario and I decide to go on and listen to some really cool interviews with people, make sure you hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts that has a new name that I don't know what it is, Spotify, and just about any other place that you want to listen to a podcast. You can check out casualfc.com for all of the podcast links. We make sure to select all of them because we don't know what you like. So why not give you every option? Decision fatigue. Who has it? For those of you who aren't, follow us on a lot of the different social media channels at Casual FC Pod on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads. We're on YouTube. We're kind of popping up in more places when we can or when we need to. So keep an eye out.
Yep.
I think we're going to end up doing some more stuff on the internet, probably making TikToks from games and doing weird shit because that's what we do once the season starts. But follow us now so we might show up on your feed through the algorithm by the time the season rolls around.
The almighty algorithm. It'll show you what you like.
It'll show you what you need, not what you want. And hopefully that's us.
Yes.
Don't forget, if you are a longtime listener, tell your friends. We just want to create a really cool community here. We kind of joke that telling people about this podcast brings good luck to the team. And I'm going to say that it worked the second half of that season.
Oh yeah.
So
no, it totally worked. I mean, we came at the half point and then everything just went uphill. So
yeah, that's when we started. That's when everybody started listening. That's when coaching changes happened. Lots of big things. So if you want the team to do well, make sure you tell your friends about it. We got to stock those batteries. Like, we have recharge all those batteries now to make sure we're ready to go for opening day.
Yes.
We do have merch, shop.casualfc.com. And if you feel so inclined and you want to help us pay for this shenanigan machine, make sure to buy what is called Buying Us a Coffee. And you can check out the link in all of our social media bios or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod.
It's kind of like a Patreon, except we don't do enough content to give you a Patreon. So the Buy Me a Coffee works.
Yeah, it's like, here's $2. Have fun. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Like, here's some more content. Yeah, we're going to have a bunch more merch come kick off for the regular season, and who knows what else. But thanks for coming along for the ride. We might have another episode before the end of the year based on knowledge. Who knows? We're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants in this off season.
Yes, we are.
Both podcast and real life.
Yes. Just make it over that finish line, make it to 2024, and we're all good.
Tell me about it. We're almost there.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.